How's it going? My name is Ed. Today we are going to be installing the Truebendz catback exhaust. Hopefully everything goes well. So the first thing, of course, you need to jack up the car, which I already did. And it is going on this blue car, not the silver one. The silver one already has an exhaust on there. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is remove the front part where the flange is there. So you can see you got the two hangers there, and then the bolts are right behind that. So the first thing we're going to do is take off those hangers, and I'm going to show you an easy way to get that off. Special tool, but it's not very expensive. This is the tool. You can get it at auto parts store, you can get it online. Harbor Freight probably has them. It is an exhaust removal pliers. Pretty basic, pretty simple, but they work. Alright, so these are the pliers. This is how it works. You slip it in one side, you put the other side there, and then you just squeeze it. A little trick with these, use two hands. It's a lot easier. If you got two hands, use them. If you don't have two hands, well, I'm sorry. Now I got these hangers out of the way, I can actually see. So the bolts are on this side here, and so that side is just a stud. So mine must have been changed at one point because one side seems to be a 14, the other side seems to be a 13. This is what I'm using to try and break it loose. I love PB Blaster. It is great. You know, working on a car, nothing ever goes easy. This is how a 1 hour project ends up taking 5 hours. Okay, so I got one side out. And the other side, I'm just gonna chop off. I'm not gonna mess with this for 5 hours trying to get one bolt off. Especially because we're not reusing this bolt. Yay, it's cut off. While I'm working on this, my kid's over there working on the suspension and filming himself working on the suspension.
Okay,
Okay, now we're at the back of the car. This is where the normal lunchbox thing would be. You got one hanger here and one hanger out there, and that looks to be it. Okay, buddy, you can finish the exhaust for me? I somehow missed it, but there is one more hanger here by the muffler. So as you can see here, the muffler's off. So now we just gotta see if we can fish it through back there and get it out. So since my kid couldn't get it off for me, and I don't know, I mean, I guess it's fishable, but maybe it's easier. I'm just gonna chop it off. I don't know what the heck he's trying to fix. Okay, we got the pipe completely out. The last part, instead of using that, I just did this instead. Whatever works for you, I guess. We'll get this all cleaned up, and then we'll start the installation of the Truebendz catback exhaust. So we got all the exhaust parts here. So what we're gonna start off is that piece. Put on that piece, we're gonna need the supplied gasket and two nuts and bolts. Okay, I got it installed. Remember, the hanger brackets go on the bottom, not the top. So we're gonna continue on this pipe the rest of the way back. So we ran into the first problem. Yeah, that is not right. And the flange, or the hook thing, doesn't even get close to where it needs to be. You can't push anything in because of the bracket, the exhaust hanger holder. We'll try and see if we can cut it down enough. This issue in itself probably wouldn't stop me from buying it because I have the tools and the ability to fix it, but it is something that you want to probably keep in mind. I did notify the company, and once I get some measurements, I'll let them know. Maybe they'll make some changes to this so the next person who orders one doesn't have to go through this. They did see my video with the box issue, and they actually responded to that and said that they're gonna set of double-walled cardboard boxes to help prevent that from happening. Everything else looks pretty good. I cut 6 inches off the pipe and I kind of set it in there. That seems to get exactly where I want it. So the next step is I'm going to drive to the auto parts store. Nearest one's probably about 20 minutes away. And we're going to pick up the tool to expand this pipe. So I'm not here to bash any company. I just want to make sure that you, if you're buying this, you're aware the situation I'm going through. That way you can plan when you do yours if you're having to deal with the same thing. Hopefully they fix it. I don't know. And so I think if this exhaust was in that, you know, $700-800 range, I wouldn't be so forgiving on the flaws with this. O'Reilly Auto Parts, here we are. So we got the exhaust expanding tool. So let's see if we can get this thing fixed. So here's our current status. That's the Truebendz there on the left. That's the MagnaFlow on the right. I took the MagnaFlow off of this car, but it doesn't fit. So I am forced to, I guess, get this modified to be able to work, which was my original plans. But then the idea popped in my head, well, I just pop the exhaust off of here, stick it onto there, and that way at least I can have the exhaust done and then worry about the Truebendz later. This is 2.5 inch. This is 2.27, so about 2 1/4 pipe. And the factory is also 2.27. I measured them. That's where I got my measurements. It's not some spec online. The spreader tool thingy doesn't work on this pipe. Okay, so we got the exhaust mostly figured out. The only thing I don't like really at this point is how far the exhaust tip sticks out. So we're gonna have to do something about that. Probably just gonna cut that exhaust tip off. That way we can get the exhaust tip flush to the bumper, or just sticking past the bumper slightly. That is, I think, way too far. That looks kind of ghetto. I've seen other people with this exhaust, and theirs tends to stick out too. This lines up pretty good. I probably could have went a 1/2 inch back, but it's pretty close. Over here, you can see what I ended up having to do is I had to cut the pipe, then I just used a joiner to join the two pipes together, and that's how I got it closer together. Because I couldn't get the steel expanded with the expander tool thingy or whatever that I rented at the store. You know, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it was one cut and then just bolt this on. I did have a little mess up because I tried expanding the pipe. It did expand out just slightly, but not enough where I could have done anything with it to slip it on. So I couldn't get on the joiner. So actually I had to rent the expander tool again to expand that joiner. I also made the mistake, I didn't realize at the time because I was kind of in a rush. The pipe clamp that I got and the joiner is not stainless steel. So I'll probably have to change that out at some point when it starts rusting. Rest of it is all bolted, is good. Seems to be decent clearance going around. All the things line up. The muffler's a little crooked. I'm not too worried about that. Alright, other than that, I think we're ready to lower this car, start it up, and see what it sounds like, because that's the important part. We want to see what it sounded like. Alright, so this is the first start. I do not have a catalytic converter in the car. I have the shell of the catalytic converter. It's gutted out. Yeah, as you can hear right now, it's pretty quiet. On the exhaust I was on there before, the factory exhaust with the lunchbox delete and the cat delete. When you revved it up, it got quieter, and I didn't like that. I wanted to rev it up and it get louder. So that's the whole reason why I even put the exhaust on there. It just felt unnatural. A car should get louder the faster you go with it, right? Maybe? Okay, so now I got the exhaust tip lined up where I wanted it. What I had to do is I cut the pipe. I tried to cut on the weld here, and I was able to slip the tip off. Once I basically cut by the weld, I was able to separate it and break the weld. And then it's a slip fit, so I was able to slip it through onto the pipe. So I cut this pipe further down. That's where this pipe was, right here. So I cut it here. That gave me some room to adjust it to where I wanted it. And then I'm going to clamp it. And I am just clamping it with a regular U-clamp. And I'm putting it upside down or right side up, I don't know. Basically, I'm putting the bolts on the top. That way, you can't really see it from behind the car and stuff. Because I don't want it to look too ghetto.
Aloha. Peace out. That's the next one.